Tonight,
Family Day 2026!
the midwinter holiday.
We want her to experience it. Yeah, and the weather's actually perfect for tubing.
With a taste of spring.
And the conditions are fantastic.
The places people were flocking to for Family Day in Waterloo Region. Locked in to Brantford's moments at the Winter Games, showing their love for local figure skaters in the competition of a lifetime. Plus, the warnings about wandering on Lake Erie.
People are pushing the limits. They're getting out closer and closer to open water to get that social media picture that they can put out there.
The call to be more considerate.
A lot of people who are putting not only themselves at risk, but also potentially putting first responders at risk.
In ice conditions that can change quickly. Good evening on this Family Day, a mid-February Monday that felt kind of more like spring right across Waterloo Region. That brought a lot of people outdoors to enjoy the day off school and work. CTV's Karis Mapp joining us live now from Chicopee Ski Hill in Kitchener. Karis, that was one of the places that was certainly buzzing with activity today. How are the slopes?
Well, Tony, I was here earlier and only just recently got back, but I can tell you the hill has been packed all day. Now, people I spoke with say the warmer temperatures made for the perfect atmosphere, whether you ski and snowboard all the time or we're just trying out the sport for the first time today. Chicopee Ski Hill was packed with families looking for fun ways to spend time together.
There are a lot of people here, and it's awesome because the weather is absolutely perfect and the conditions are fantastic.
Many people trying out the slopes amid the inspiration they've been seeing on their TVs.
Anytime the Olympics happen, we see new people in the sport who want to be out here trying skiing and snowboarding.
Like this family who drove in from Hamilton.
We're originally from Brazil, so we don't have skiing in our history. We have absolutely zero experience in this. And we said, let's go to the closest one. And we got here.
Even regulars say the holiday was a great opportunity to spend time with loved ones.
I ski here regularly, and they decided they wanted to come up for Family Day, and we'd done this once before a couple of years ago, so they wanted to come back again this year and do it again.
Perfect snow, perfect slopes, like not too hot, not too easy, and not too crowded, just like the perfect place.
On the other side of the hill,
Family Day 2026!
families were continuing traditions by hitting up the tube park.
We've been doing it 2 years in a row. Family absolutely loves it. A lot of memories are made. Kids absolutely love it, and we look forward to a wonderful day of tubing.
And the weather's actually perfect for tubing, so we decided to go. But we booked this like a week ahead because we know it's going to be busy, right? Family Day.
Everyone enjoying something different about the slippery thrill.
My favorite part about tubing is that it goes really fast down.
The best part is just being with your kids, attaching on, hanging onto the tubes, making some TikTok videos as you go down. It's just absolutely fantastic.
For families hoping to stay inside, there were plenty of events across the region, including Critters Corner right here at the Cambridge Butterfly Conservatory.
All of our insects that are out and about in a little corner on display. You can handle them, you can come up close, you can, keep your distance if you want to, but we definitely encourage families to come out.
Hundreds of families came through the doors to learn about crawling or flying bugs.
Typically on an average day for Family Day weekend, we see upwards of like 1,400 people a day.
We're planning to come here for a long, long time and finally had a chance. Now I have a day off so I can come and see all the beautiful creatures, especially that he's really interested in butterflies right now, so it's a great day.
The Butterfly Conservatory was actually fully booked all day, but officials here at Chicopee say there are still lots of lift tickets available and are continuing to encourage people to come out before the hill closes up tonight at 9. Tony.
Karis, thank you. CTV's Karis Mapp live at a very busy Chicopee Ski Hill in Kitchener on this Family Day. And there were high hopes today for a pair of figure skaters who train at the Brant Figure Skating Club. They entered today's competition at the Winter Games in third place, vying for a podium finish. And while that didn't happen, there's still certainly a lot of pride among those who know and train with them. Let's go to CTV's Krista Simpson now for more on that tonight. Krista.
Well, Tony, the pair were in medal position going into the free skate, so those who knew them were watching today with bated breath.
At the Wayne Gretzky Sports Centre in Brantford, a group gathered around a laptop to watch Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud skate their long program at the Olympics.
It's just so exciting to see people, out on the Olympic stage. And
the pair had a strong start, but a couple of errors moved them off the podium. They ultimately finished in 8th place.
Super proud. They have had quite a lot on their plate since winning nationals in January, and they had to skate the team event, both programs. They've put out some excellent performances. I think they've really got a nice little wave of positivity running under them.
Sunday, a group from the Brant Figure Skating Club gathered to watch their short program. Pereira and Michaud skated a personal best, sitting in 3rd place when it was done, a result described as unexpected by some. But those who know them couldn't be more proud.
All our littles look up to the both of them so much, and it's really a family. They are together training most of the day, every day, at least 5 days a week.
The pair has been skating together since 2022, and this is their first Olympic Games. Pereira is originally from Milton. She is also currently a student at the University of Guelph, studying business management. Michaud's hometown is Trenton. He now studies at McMaster University.
So they're a big part of the Brant Skating Club. They're obviously very renowned in the world of figure skating. So to have them here at our club it's super special.
So while there were no medals for Canada today at the rink, there is an Ontario connection to the team that did take the gold medal in pairs skating, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara. While they compete for Japan, they actually train not far from here in Oakville. Tony.
All kinds of connections to the games here in Ontario. Krista, thank you. CTV's Krista Simpson reporting live. And we'll have a bit of a roundup a little bit later on Canada's showings today. But first, let's get a check on the forecast as we head over to Ashley Bacon on this holiday for many people today. Other than that thick fog this morning, there was not a lot to really get in the way of enjoying time outdoors.
No, that's right, Tony. It was a beautiful weekend followed by a beautiful start to your work week for those who had to come into work like us today and those who had an extra long weekend. It was a nice warm day, but as you said, lots of fog over the morning, and we are expecting some fog in the morning to come, but it's Wednesday we need to talk about. Environment Canada issuing a special weather statement for Wednesday. Hazardous winter conditions are expected, freezing rain with ice buildup, and of course, snowfall to accompany it. In addition to that, we are also looking at a winter storm watch for Wednesday up near Wyerton in southern Georgian Bay, north of Mount Forest. We're looking 10 to 15 centimeters of snow in that region with 2 to 5 millimeters of freezing rain buildup. So we are looking at another round of winter weather. We aren't quite out of the winter woods yet, but the good news is right now in Waterloo Region sitting at a very comfortable 1 degree. And the nice thing is, Tony, temperatures tomorrow are expecting to be above seasonal.
Hey, we'll take it while we've got it. Ash, thank you so much. And you know, these fluctuating temperatures made it tempting for some to head out onto the ice on Lake Erie to take a picture. Now, that's despite notices that are posted at the beach in Port Stanley. CTV's Brent Lail reports.
Port Stanley resident Ann Stevens quickly grabbed her camera when she saw this man riding his snowmobile in the harbor.
That certainly ranks up there with one of the silliest things I've seen.
He was one of dozens of people who ventured out onto Lake Erie over the weekend.
You get a day like today where the sun is shining, it's nice and bright, and it's beating down on that ice, and those ice conditions can change in a matter of hours. It doesn't take days and weeks to change the ice condition.
This drone video taken by photographer Paul Redmond shows just how far people have been walking from Main Beach in Port Stanley. The footprints go for more than a kilometer.
People are pushing the limits. They're getting out closer and closer to open water, or they're getting up on shelf ice or pocketed ice, and to get that social media picture that they can put out there, and it puts themselves in danger, and as a result it puts our team in danger.
I think it's definitely frustrating to see a lot of people who are putting not only themselves at risk, but also potentially putting first responders at risk. It's really important to know that especially such big bodies of water like Lake Erie, conditions are always unpredictable.
With the temperatures expected above zero for the next few days, the Elgin County Drowning Prevention Coalition says the risk is even greater for those who venture onto the ice.
Shelf ice forms in layers, and so you might have something that's thick here, but your next step or next spot, so to say, it didn't freeze solid. It's really tough because in one area that might be thick, the next you could fall through, and now you're needing help.
Stevens has seen a lot of incidents over the years in the village and can't understand why people keep putting themselves and first responders at risk.
I think because people are hearing that Lake Erie is 90%, 100% frozen, they think it's safe to go out. And we have the ice warning signs. People seem to just ignore the signs.
Brent Leo, CTV News.
It's a far cry from baseball weather here, but things are heating up in Florida. Today was the first full squad day at spring training for the Blue Jays. Some of the team's newest arrivals are now on site. And CTV's Sean Leathong brings us this report from Dunedin.
The team that Canada fell in love with is back. The first full day of workouts at spring training for the Toronto Blue Jays, and fans are gathering here in Dunedin just for a glimpse.
Still have the high of the World Series, the playoffs.
Anticipation and a lot of hope for the season.
You know, there's always hope, and so it's a new hope.
The last time fans saw this team together on the field was the heartbreaking extra innings loss in Game 7 of the World Series. Claudia Sanders came down from Toronto and is one of many fans who see this as a sequel to 2025.
When you lose, you learn a lot, and you come back even harder.
Jackie Ferraro and her kids are Blue Jays fans from South Florida who were inspired by what they saw last year.
It was a very emotional season. They were super, we had the highs with them and the lows with them. We were rooting them on every single day.
But now is the beginning of a new season, and the team has added new players like early fan favorite Japanese star Kazuma Okamoto.
I think he's really intriguing. I'm hoping that the power that he showed over in Japan is going to translate.
While the experience of last season has moved some players into the spotlight.
What got you about the Blue Jays?
Ernie Clement. Yeah, pretty much.
Players like Ernie Clement and Addison Barger are expected to play a bigger role, as being defending American League champions comes with expectations.
I love the expectations. That's why we do it. And I think the guys we've talked about it so much in the off season. It's nice to see everyone, really. It kind of just gets you back to what you were doing at a really, really high level last year.
The team's leader, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., is now the longest tenured Blue Jay and says he's confident this team can produce.
I think it's going to be more fun, but I'm actually more happy than last year. I mean, for whatever reason, I'm happy. I'm feeling great. I have good feelings about this year, and I know we're capable to do a lot of good things.
And while the team beat expectations last year, now the fans want more.
Maybe make it back to the World Series, dominate the Dodgers.
Just win it all. We want it all.
But today is just day one, with a long road back.
And that report from CTV's Sean Leathong in Dunedin, Florida tonight. From Apocalypse Now to The Godfather, Lonesome Dove to Tender Mercies, Robert Duvall's iconic career spanned 7 decades. Tonight, the actor is being remembered as one of the greatest of his generation. CTV's Andrea Case has more.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Robert Duvall has had some iconic lines in a career which spanned 6 decades and more than 150 films.
Smells like victory.
Duvall was born in San Diego in 1931. His father was a rear admiral in the Navy, but his career was firmly rooted on terra firma, first on stage, then television, and eventually film. At 31, his first film role, Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird. He was the original Frank Burns in MASH.
They shot Sonny on the causeway. He's dead.
But it was his role in The Godfather and Godfather Part 2 which brought his first major critical success and the first of 7 Academy Award nominations. He turned down a role in Godfather 3 due to a salary dispute. The role as a washed-up country singer in the film Tender Mercies was the one which garnered him his first and only Academy Award in 1983.
What we're really here for is to single out who we think is the best for that given year, and if that's what I'm to be this year, then I accept it with an honor, and I'm very moved because of that.
He was no stranger to this city and the Toronto International Film Festival. In 1997, alongside Farrah Fawcett in The Apostle, a film he wrote, produced, and funded himself. He opened the festival with Robert Downey Jr. in 2014's The Judge, and a couple of years earlier to support his friend Billy Bob Thornton in Jane Mansfield's Car.
It feels almost him getting older was actually good for his career because he just kept showing up in so many things. You know, he was just this guy that would elevate whomever he was cast opposite of.
Married 4 times, he met his last wife, Luciana Pedraza, in Argentina. 31 years his junior, she approached him, another passion, the tango. He wrote and co-starred in the film Assassination Tango. She was in it also. Duvall died at his ranch in Virginia yesterday with his wife by his side. Robert Duvall was 95.
CTV's Andrea Case with that report. Well, later on CTV News, getting hyped for Hyrox in Waterloo Region. If you've never heard of this kind of fitness competition, CTV's Spencer Turcott will take us through the paces a little bit later in the show and tell us why it's proven so appealing to so many local athletes.
Above seasonal temperatures expected for tomorrow, but first we've got to get through some drizzling rain tonight. We'll have those details just ahead. Stay with us.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
A woman in Hanover is appealing for help tonight, reporting her dog stolen. She says it's because of the breed and that it's not the first one of its kind stolen in the area. CTV's Scott Miller reports.
Lucy's dog crate sits empty on Lauren Coates' kitchen floor, her food bowl still full of food. Coates says the 1-year-old Australian Kelpie they rescued 6 months ago and that was being trained to be her therapy dog was stolen on Wednesday while Coates and her partner were at work.
She's very valuable, and she's a loved family member of our family, and I need to bring her home.
Coates believes Lucy was stolen because of her breed and the price tag attached to Australian Kelpies.
A Kelpie can go anywhere from $2,000 to all the way up to $10,000.
Coates says she is aware of 3 other Australian Kelpies stolen in Grey Bruce within the past 2 weeks. She fears someone will start using Lucy and the others for breeding.
She's my therapy dog, and with my mental health, the way it's been going lately, she's the one that calms it.
Coates says the thieves who took Lucy also snatched her late mother's jewelry. She and her partner say they don't feel safe in their own home anymore. But she holds out some hope that Lucy will find her way back to them somehow.
I'm a firm believer in hope. Lucy actually is my hope. Lucy's always been my hope since the day we got her, the day we rescued her from a really bad situation.
Near Hanover, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Looking at health news now, a new study out of McMaster University identifies several key factors in children developing food allergies. CTV health reporter Pauline Chan has those details.
Eggs and milk are known to be common allergies early in a child's life.
Those tend to resolve by about age 6 to 8. In most individuals, about 80%.
But for the other 20%, food allergies can continue to pose a lifelong threat. McMaster researchers have been looking at 342 risk factors for babies developing food allergies.
International data, over 40 countries, and 2.8 million participants in 190 different studies.
They identified 4 factors as the most important: a family history of allergies, eczema as a baby, delayed introduction of common allergens such as eggs, peanut, or fish, and early use of antibiotics. Dr. Derek Chu says in some cases, antibiotic use in babies is essential, but in borderline cases, families and physicians should be aware it could be a factor in developing food allergies. Chu also says eczema is like a window to the immune system and an early indicator of a sensitive immune system.
What's showing in our studies that if you delay food allergen introduction, it actually increases the risk quite a bit, and consequently, if you introduce early, might protect.
Food Allergy Canada says this publication confirms that food allergy development in children is influenced by multiple factors. Early introduction and continued inclusion of allergenic foods, central to our Eat Early, Eat Often guidance, has shown promising results in reducing food allergy risk. Their website offers guidelines to introduce common allergens, like milk and eggs, to babies between 4 and 6 months of age, in the form of yogurt or mashed boiled eggs, for example, and make sure you keep them in your child's regular diet.
Risk factors are just risk factors. That means it's not a guarantee.
But he says being aware of them can allow us to monitor and tailor allergy prevention efforts for each child. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
All right, taking you back out to this live look at Chicopee Ski Hill in Kitchener tonight. Still a lot of people out there enjoying the slopes on this Monday evening, and perfect temperatures to get outside and be comfortable in these conditions as well. But we do have a little bit of active weather on the way for later this week. Ashley's going to tell us all about that in a few minutes. Also coming up, the Cambridge company that's getting things moving. We'll visit a place where they're turning metal into motion and helping move everything from agriculture to aerospace. That's on this week's edition of Made Right Here. And next, more medals and more moments that some would rather forget at the Winter Games. We'll have a roundup from Milano Cortina next. Welcome back on this family day. Of course, for some people it's a holiday, and that meant a lot of people were outside. But we were noticing the nice thing about the commute today to work
Smooth sailing.
The expressway wasn't that busy today.
Yeah, it was empty. It was. It was great for us that had to come into work.
That's right. Vastly different from what a Monday drive-in would normally be.
Absolutely. And the nice thing is, too, Tony, that although it was foggy out there, road conditions were pretty smooth. Not a lot of precipitation in the last 24 hours, but that's all changing now.
Hey, I can see the concrete on the sidewalks in my neighborhood now for the first time in a couple of months.
Yes.
Which I will say, like, before we get into the active weather, we must have lost about half of our snowpack over the weekend.
I would say that's probably accurate. I don't have an actual figure for you, but just looking around my neighborhood, Tony, same thing. It's a lot smoother walking the dog most times now.
Sure is. Easier to get around, but now we're in February and we're going to get more surprises.
Absolutely, and it has been such a nice night. Let's take another look out at Chicopee. You can see there's still lots of people out, but it is starting to rain out there. We are seeing some freezing drizzle happening as we speak throughout Waterloo Region, and we are expecting to see a little bit over the next few hours. Though the good thing is we're not expecting a significant rainfall tonight. It's going to clear up by morning, and we'll essentially have cloudy conditions. It's Wednesday where we're going to see some significant winter activity. Taking a look at our special weather statement issued by Environment Canada, hazardous winter conditions expected for Wednesday, freezing rain with ice buildup, 10 millimeters possible, icy and slippery conditions, and accompanied with around 5 centimeters of potential snowfall. Of course, if temperatures get colder than expected, we might see more snowfall than rain. So this is very much a developing system, and we're going to keep an eye on it as we get into the next day or so. A winter storm warning as well, or watch rather, for Wyerton, Mount Forest, southern Georgian Bay. You'll see between 10 and 15 centimeters of snow and around 2 to 5 millimeters of ice buildup. So lots of activity to talk about. This is currently the system that we're feeling already in Waterloo Region and beyond. That's going to produce, like I said, a little bit of drizzle overnight and into Tuesday morning. But by the time we are on our way to school and work tomorrow, essentially just be about a bit of cloud cover, not too much precipitation. It's really not until Tuesday into Wednesday, so late Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, where that second system is expected to land on our shores. As we take a look at temperatures across the country, it is raining in Vancouver and Victoria, very comfortable 5 degrees in Victoria, just over the mountain range there, -8 in Edmonton. As we get into the prairie provinces, 2 for Regina, -2 in Winnipeg. Over in our nation's capital, we are looking at -3, the sun already setting there. As we get into the east coast, St. John's sitting at -3 with cloudy overnight conditions. Here in Waterloo Region, it's 2 degrees, which is very close to what we're expecting our overnight low to be. We're just going down to 1, and that's why we're going to see a combination of potential snow and freezing rain because of all of that. So we are seeing a significant amount of cloud cover tomorrow, a high of 4 degrees. As we get into our almanac, sun setting now at 5:54 p.m. So at least we're getting a bit of daylight. But the good news is we'll have at least another day of comfortable conditions before the rain sets in for Wednesday. Cloudy conditions on Thursday rather. Similar conditions in Lambton, Kent, Essex. Continued rain for Wednesday, a high of 10 degrees, cloudy and 6 for your Thursday. And lastly, in southern Georgian Bay, also going to see a little bit of activity over the next few days. Wednesday, you'll see a combination of sleet. Really depends on whether or not we get over that freezing mark, whether it'll be rain or snow or a combination of both. So just be prepared, Tony, as we get into the work week. It's going to be another wintry one. All right, let's take a look at our Weather Watcher picture for today. This photo was sent in from Tom saying the snowman is defying gravity. No supports, no tricks, just nature flexing physics after the weekend's warm-up temperatures. Oh my goodness. This poor snowman.
I should have remembered not everybody likes when the conditions get mild. Frosty's down for the count there.
Well, I mean, he's doing everything he can to stay upright. I love that picture, Tom. Thank you.
Tom, that made our day.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Ash.
Thanks, Tony.
All right, a great start to the final week of the Winter Games. Canada's struck gold for a second time. Parry Sound's Megan Oldham topped all other competitors today in the women's freestyle skiing big air final. Fantastic moment. And Canada's short track speed skating superstar Courtney Sarot has done it again. The 25-year-old from Moncton, New Brunswick was in the final of the 1,000-meter women's event. She got off to a great start, leading the first 6 laps of the 9-lap race, and then ended up taking a silver. This is now her 3rd medal of the Games. Sarot was part of the mixed relay team that captured silver, and she won bronze in the women's 500-meter event. And also today, the Canadian women's hockey team has done it again, punching a ticket to the Olympic finals for another round with their arch rivals, the U.S., and fans are cheering them on.
The girls' game is very, very skilled. It's very, very fast-paced game, and I can really appreciate the skill level that they have.
It's great, and it's good that they have and set up the example for smaller kids as well. Yeah, it's great.
I think they're strong, right? They've been playing really good.
The Canadians won their semifinal game against Switzerland today with a final score of 2-1. The Swiss attempting a comeback in the 3rd period, but fell short before the final whistle. Meanwhile, freestyle skier Mikhail Kingsbury's gold yesterday in dual moguls marks the end of his Olympic career, sending him into retirement with a blaze of glory.
It's like a movie scenario personally for me. Yeah, it's the best way to leave the sport is, you know, I always wanted to leave at the top, but you never know if you're going to be able to do it. But yeah, I'm extremely proud of myself, and I skied yesterday with no regrets, and I skied with a lot of fun, and that helped me go clinch that gold medal.
The 33-year-old from Quebec says he hopes this gold inspires his fellow Canadians during the Games. Canadian curlers just can't seem to sweep away a stone-touching controversy that has engulfed their Olympic tournament. Today, Canadian women were accused again of technical violations, this time in a game against China. CTV's Garrett Berry breaks down the controversy and a sport being thrown for a loop.
the dust still has not settled at these Olympic Games after an eyebrow-raising, particularly tense curling match between Canada and Sweden's men's teams on Friday night. And at the heart of it all is not only the swearing by Canadian third Mark Kennedy towards his Swedish counterpart, but also a technical controversy. Sweden had accused Kennedy of touching the granite part of the curling rock after releasing the handle. Curling officials then stepped up enforcement of rule violations at these Olympic Games. That move is quite rare in curling, a sport that has traditionally seen players enforce the rules themselves.
The first page of the World Curling Rule Book is titled The Spirit of Curling, and it's a lot of fluffy, poetic words about how, you know, yes, we have a rule book, but realistically, as long as everybody's just nice to each other, then the rule book almost doesn't even matter.
The extra enforcement seemed only to escalate tensions when an umpire intervened and pulled a rock thrown by Canadian women's skip Rachel Homan on Saturday night. It likely cost her a point in a 1-point extra end loss against Switzerland. Afterwards, she told reporters the situation was absurd, insane, that she was unfairly punished and denied any wrongdoing. On Sunday, curling officials abandoned that enhanced scrutiny and went back to old procedures where teams would have to request officials come and watch for violations. Part of the issue, according to Canadian curlers, is that this is the sport's highest stage and not, they say, the place to change the rules or how they're enforced. Garrett Berry, CTV News, Milan.
Later on CTV News, inspired to give a gift that could save a life. We'll meet a Brantford man who decided to pay it forward with an anonymous liver donation. In a move aimed at boosting EV demand, the federal government's vehicle rebate program is back. Let's go to CTV's John Venevalley Rao for more.
Well, here at the Auto Show, a lot of the focus is on EVs. They're all over the place, with automakers showing off their latest models and hoping sales will get a boost thanks to the return of that federal rebate. As of today, if you buy an electric vehicle for under $50 grand, you can get $5,000 off a full EV, $2,500 off a plug-in hybrid. Now, while Ottawa and Beijing reached a deal recently, allowing nearly 50,000 EVs built in China to be sold in Canada at a much lower tariff rate, none of those qualify for the federal subsidy, which is aimed at reviving sales, which took a hit after the rebate program ended last January. According to BMO Economics, sales of EVs fell from 15% of the market in 2024 to about 9% last year. Still, despite the discount, some of those here checking out EVs express concerns about the charging infrastructure in Canada and vehicle range.
Yeah, just the range in the winter time. They tend to be like 30% less.
Maybe the concern would be, I guess, winter. What happens in extreme cold weather and whatever, like what's the performance like?
I feel like that ecosystem isn't as good in a place like North America because everything's so far apart. So that anxiety is always there.
Now, there are about 14,000 public charging stations in Canada, but some EV advocates say that's still well short of what's needed to achieve widespread adoption. John Venevalley Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation says construction of new homes was down in this country last month. The annual pace of housing starts declined 15% in January. The seasonally adjusted annual rate was more than 238,000 units. That compares with more than 280,000 in December. Actual housing starts were up 1% year over year in centres with populations of 10,000 or greater. Well, today marks the final day for Canadians to use their Toys R Us gift cards. A judge ruled that the struggling retailer could stop accepting gift cards following a 2-week period after it filed for creditor protection. That period ends today. Toys R Us began creditor protection proceedings earlier this month as it struggled to pay its bills. Court documents show it had more than $36 million in outstanding gift card obligations at that time. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is in Mexico City talking trade. It's a visit meant to strengthen relations but also strategize ahead of this year's mandatory review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade deal. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more.
Hundreds of delegates representing business and key sectors across Canada are taking part in the biggest trade mission to Mexico in decades. Led by Minister Dominic LeBlanc, Canadians are meeting with Mexican government officials, policy experts, and industry leaders.
It's a long time coming. We're in a continent that we share. This is an opportunity to go well beyond where we have been.
CUSMA protections have shielded most Canadian and Mexican commerce from U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs. But with the Americans threatening to scrap the trilateral trade pact in favor of separate agreements, Canadian stakeholders are looking at bilateral relations with Mexico in new light.
We haven't actually leaned in to what CUSMA, our trade agreement, affords us, and we just have not invested in building the relationships or educating ourselves or connecting those businesses.
Merchandise trade between Canada and Mexico has increased 12-fold since the original NAFTA came into force, but business leaders see potential to gain more market access.
With the current negotiation and revision of USMCA CUSMA, it's important for us to be here on the ground and see if there's potential for our producers to expand their export to Mexico.
With the required joint CUSMA review coming in July, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced today he's tapped longtime senior public servant Janice Charette to be Canada's next chief trade negotiator to the United States. Charette will work closely with Mark Wiseman, Canada's new ambassador to the U.S., who just started in D.C. this week.
Well, of course, she's an incredibly experienced and seasoned bureaucrat and diplomat. This is exactly what we need.
Reacting to Charette's appointment, the Conservatives said Canadian workers need results and not another bureaucrat or negotiator. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up next, the fitness competition that's winning over fans of all ages. Spencer Turcotte takes a look at how Waterloo Region is getting hyped about Hyrox. It may be the fastest growing fitness race out there. Hyrox is an intense functional workout competition which pushes people to their limits through different stations. CTV's Spencer Turcotte stopped by Kitchener's latest Hyrox competition, which featured first-of-its-kind races for youth.
From sled pushes and pulls to rowing and farmers' carries, you've entered the world of Hyrox.
Hyrox has basically taken over the world.
You may have heard of it, but what is it?
It is a functional fitness race. So there are 8 stations that we go through. Normally in a big race, we do 1 kilometer of running and then the stations afterwards.
At this Kitchener Hyrox event hosted by Hybrid Series KW, a collaboration between F45 Dune and Limitless Performance, there is a twist: no running, just raw power.
The running is such a recovery component in the normal race, but really it's just a different way to get practice.
There are several divisions: individuals, doubles, pro, teams, and a new category called Young Stars for youth.
We are the first, I guess, racing business to bring young stars to Canada and North America, to be honest with you. So it is children ages 8 to 11 and 12 to 15 doing their first Hyrox race with us.
We caught up with some of the youth competitors at the finish line.
I practice, but not a crazy amount.
Easy breezy for Curtis, who treated this as a warm-up.
I got hockey practice.
His girlfriend Ashley competed too.
Oh my gosh, I was so out of breath. I'm not used to this kind of activity.
She's interested in doing Hyrox again, but that's enough activity for her for the day.
Well, I'm just gonna hang out with him until hockey practice.
About 350 athletes competed in the Family Day Fitness Challenge, all different ages and abilities.
It's allowed me to stay active and continue to have goals in my pregnancy. I'm 8 months pregnant.
Despite the extra cargo, she still only competed in the individual category.
Baby's really happy and active.
If you're looking to push yourself to the max, the next Canadian Hyrox race is in Ottawa in May. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News, Kitchener.
Turning metal into motion, True Gear and Spline in Cambridge builds the parts that make many machines move across all kinds of industries. On this week's edition of Made Right Here, how their precision engineering helps get gears going.
Hi,
I'm Adam. This is True Gear and Spline, and we do everything to do with motion and power. So we manufacture gears and splines here at True Gear. These products can be found in everything from agriculture, automotive, aerospace, and any industrial applications where you have motion. They're using our products to build up their sub-assemblies or their end products for their customers. Gears and splines can be found in everything from your household drills. Your car has many gears and splines within it, which help the engine transfer power. Anything that moves basically has gears and splines. So the example of the parts that we were following through was a PTO shaft. What you can see in that process is we take a raw bar stock from a mill, we cut it to length. We then have multiple CNC operations which start turning the diameters of the part. We then gear cut the external and then the internal splines, perform inspection on the part throughout the whole process, and then ship those to our customer. The business was founded in 1974. We're 22,000 square feet. We have over 80 assets here, various manual machines and up-to-date CNC machines. We have about 20 employees here, all from the Cambridge, Waterloo area, all skilled machinists. It makes my job very easy to work with them every day. They're experts in gear cutting, which is a niche business, and we believe we excel in it. I think we do have a lot of repeat customers that have been with us for a long time, and we have a fairly good name in industry. I think producing a quality part at a competitive price is integral to our business.
And time for a short break, but first let's check in with Ash.
Well, foggy conditions are expected again tomorrow morning, but just how long will it last? Those details coming up. Stay with us. Start your night off with E-Talk at 7, followed by The Big Bang Theory, then Extracted at 8, and then top your night off with Rookie Back-to-Back.
Tonight, remembering an Oscar-winning Hollywood legend.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Tributes pour in for the versatile and unforgettable Robert Duvall. Later on CTV National News and Watch on Crave.
Retro Rollers is now open in Kitchener, and Bounce 99.5 is taking over. CTV Kitchener is giving you the chance to win your way into an exclusive bounce party and $500 to Retro Rollers. Enter now at ctvkitchener.ca.
Roller skating is back?
I mean,
maybe it never went away.
Come on. I don't think it ever went out of style. That's awesome.
Everybody got onto rollerblading for a long time and forgot about roller skates, but that looks fun.
That's true. I was one of those 90s kids that liked to rollerblade.
Oh,
so
yes.
I was one of them.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Now, Rob Kuhn,
Yes.
our friend from Environment Canada, has heard my comment about maybe half of the snowpack is gone. He doesn't think quite that much.
No, he sent us a message during break there and said that we've lost about 20% of our snow. So
Enough to notice.
Enough to notice, but it feels like more.
It does, yeah.
Maybe it's just we've been so overwhelmed with snow this winter, Tony, that
yes, we have.
Even a little decrease felt a lot.
It sure did.
It went a long way.
And we've got some weather advisories.
We do. Let's get right into it. Just another recap here. Special weather statement, hazardous winter conditions expected for Wednesday, 5 to 10 millimeters possible with around 5 centimeters of snowfall in addition. We're also looking at winter storm watch up near southern Georgian Bay, which could produce 10 to 15 centimeters with freezing rain buildup as well. So not looking too great, but the good news is tomorrow is going to be all right. Starting the day off with a bit of fog. We're going to hopefully get to 4 degrees tomorrow, which is great.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, finally for us tonight, a butcher from Brantford is doing more than carving meat these days. He's also preparing to give a part of his own liver.
And as CTV's Karis Map explains, the donation was inspired by the passing of his friend.
When Zach Baker isn't mastering his craft, he can be found cracking a joke or chatting with his regular customers.
I've been at the Cambridge Farmers Market now since 2010, on and off, and there's been people that I've been serving every week since then.
Even fellow vendors feel the impact of his positivity.
I think it was the first week, maybe the second week, he jumped into my spices and instantly took my Greek spice and put it into his pre-made pork chops.
Now carving out kindness in his community, the butcher of over 15 years decided in December to donate a part of his liver to someone close to him.
A friend of mine who he's been sick for decades. The need was there, and the ask went out because he was on the list of recipients in need, and they needed a match.
Medical history and paperwork testing confirmed what everyone involved had hoped.
I kind of emerged as the #1 choice, at least on paper, which then led itself to booking some physical testing.
Following extensive blood work and scans, everything was set for a March 2nd donation date. But before the surgery could happen, his friend passed away.
His family knew that I was going through the testing, and we were able to spend some time together and share that information. Told him to mark, March 2nd on the calendar type deal, because that's what we were working towards.
With all the screening and tests completed, as well as a surgery date already booked, Zach chose to continue with the process, opting for an anonymous donation instead.
I've heard the stat thrown around that about 25% of people on the recipient list pass away before there's ever a match.
And officials say the need is greater than ever.
There are currently hundreds of Canadians awaiting liver transplantation. And unfortunately, the supply of organs is simply not there to meet the demand as it stands now. And that demand and number is actually expected to increase over the years as the prevalence of liver disease rises.
Now, the same people Baker has given to over the years are stepping up to return the favor.
I am donating 50% of all of my proceeds from every single Greek blend that is sold between now and when he returns to the market.
A customer-led GoFundMe was also set up to help his family during the lengthy recovery period. With the countdown continuing, Baker says he's excited for the impact he'll have on someone's life.
I've been asked a lot, like, oh, are you nervous? Or like, you starting to get scared? And I haven't been. Really glad that I'm going to be able to help somebody.
Kara Smapp, CTV News, Cambridge.
Wow, what a selfless thing and a thoughtful thing to do to keep going ahead with it and knowing that it's going to make a difference for someone.
Yeah, Zach, you're a good man.
Absolutely. We need more of that in this world. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for making some time to check in with us on this Family Day. We will be back tonight at 11:30 with your next local news. That comes right after the CTV National News at 11. Until then, news anytime, of course, over at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.